T minus 69 days. What's happening, friends? I wanted to get the ball rolling quite early with a new series of videos aimed at preparing for a game which I believe will be a huge new title. I'm of course talking about Titanfall. Titanfall T minus is going to be a series where I give news, info and general understanding of Titanfall and what it's going to be like before its release. After release, I will be aiming to cover the game in as much detail as I can, from epic gameplays to guides and other cool videos. I am under no illusion though that particularly the whole FPS scene of YouTube will probably do the exact same thing. So setting myself apart from the crowd will be a challenge, but it's one that I'm willing to take up. Let's crack on with today's video, giving a very brief understanding of Titanfall and its history so far. Firstly, Titanfall has been made by the lovely people over at Respawn Entertainment. Respawn was formed, or respawned, if you pardon the pun, from the original co-creators of Infinity Ward. Infinity Ward were responsible for creating the Call of Duty franchise, and whilst the Respawn team may not have worked on the more recent titles, they made some of the best COD titles to date, including COD 4. So when it comes to a good FPS, these guys know a thing or two. Titanfall is a futuristic shooter set on a war-torn planet in the near future. You fight as either the militia or as the Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation, or IMC. It is a game where you either fight as a pilot, as they are called, or a heavily armoured Titan, which you actually pilot. Players have the ability to call in these giant mech warriors to aid in battle, but the joy of the game is that these huge mechs are not slow and sluggish, but fast and nimble. You would expect them to be overpowered as well, but every player has an anti-mech rocket launcher at their disposal to take down these beasts. More details about that is going to come in another video on how that is actually balanced by player movement. So these pilots, sounds like it's pretty boring if you don't have a mech, right? Well, wrong. All pilots have access to advanced jetpack technology. You are able to jetpack into the air, then jump off walls to get to roofs and other buildings, and into windows. It harks back to the days of skilled movement games. And it's been said that players are actually able to get around the entire map without ever touching the floor should they want to, and of course should they be able to master it. Players build up momentum as well by timing wall jumps and jetpacks perfectly and being able to double jump. You then gain the speed required to get to certain areas. Titanfall aims to merge single player with multiplayer, having multiplayer game modes where cinematic single player elements are joined together by plot, character progression and of course non-playable characters. It's an interesting concept and one which will be very cool to see. Last but not least for today's video, the game is not running on their own custom engine, but in fact, a heavily modified Source engine. That's right, the Source engine. The engine that made such games such as Counter-Strike, Left 4 Dead, and Portal. Now I guarantee you from looking at videos and footage, a lot of people will be quite surprised at that. More talk about the Source engine very soon in another video as well. I've got so much planned for Titanfall. I've got lots of videos detailing the game and certain elements and going into detail. And obviously new details will arise as well, and I'll be sure to bring those to you with the best speed and haste that I can. For right now though, thank you for watching, and we still await Titanfall.